18, he's handsome, he's tall, he's rich.
He's got the whole ball.
He's unleashed in New York City. Are you sure you want to reverse Roe v. Wade now?
Donald Trump is not only an incredibly effective president, he's also the most entertaining president we have ever had. I mean, there's a reason his rallies are so popular. There's a reason he just had over 100,000 people in Pennsylvania. And that, of course, is because he's fun to listen to. He tells great stories, he jokes around, and of course, he talks about the real issues Americans care about. And recently, he sat down with Andrew Schulz on the Flagrant Podcast, and they just had a tremendous time. It was truly enjoyable to watch. Now, it's over an hour and a half long, right? You think about Kamala Harris. She just gave a 20-minute interview on 60 Minutes, but Donald Trump sat down for an extended period of time just talking, just chatting it up. And I'm going to bring you what I think were the best parts. Let's go ahead and check this out. But before we do, please like and comment so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Yeah. And here I am. We're doing this wonderful interview with four geniuses that are hot as pistols, right? Good hearing this guy.
Yeah. Likewise, sir.
Pretty good stuff you got. So anyway, but here we are.
Who do you think tried to take you out?
So I'm going to give you some big breaking news, right?
Love that.
So you have this shooter, and you have another shooter, right? Yeah. So this shooter had 3 or so cell phones. The FBI's never gotten them opened.
Wow.
The other shooter, 3 apps, they call them, and I believe they were foreign-based apps, from what I understand.
Oh, wow.
They haven't opened them, and they're foreign-based. Then the other one had 6 cell phones, and they haven't opened. Now, you know, it's very hard to open a cell phone. Only Apple can do it in theory, unless you have somebody. But they had no problem getting the J6 people's cell phones open. They opened their cell phones very quickly.
So if you had to guess, I'm sure obviously you've thought about this a lot. It's an assassination attempt. If you had to guess, who do you think is responsible?
These are great questions. What the hell? I don't get these questions from the fake news.
Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell's been asking
like
this.
Deface the Nation. But some of these questions are much better.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm honored.
Much better.
You still don't have an answer, though.
That was the best dodge of the question.
That's your second best dodge in your life.
You almost charmed us out of it.
Trying to get out of it.
All right, fair enough.
Well, look, if you look at assassinations or attempts, that, you know, I do a thing called a weave. Yeah. And there are those that are fair that say, this guy is so genius. And then others would say, oh, he rambled. I don't ramble. If I start a story, what you do is you weave things and you do it. You have to have certain things. You need an extraordinary memory because you have to come back to where you started.
Yes.
You always, a weave is only good if you come back.
They would give you credit for that.
Yeah, it's true.
You could go all the way over here and then
I
get
can
back.
go so far here or there, and I can come back to exactly where I started. Now, someday when you don't come back to where you started,
you're Biden.
Then you say,
Donald Trump with a friendly group is probably one of the most disarming people you're going to meet. I mean, look at the time they are having. They're just laughing, they're just talking, they're interacting with each other. And of course, the question they're asking him about is, hey, who do you think actually shot you? And they accuse Donald Trump of like, hey, you're dodging the question. He's like, no. I'm weaving. All right? I'm doing the weave. All right? I've got to talk about something else over here and come back over there. And they all get it. They're all in on the joke. They're laughing, they're hooting, they're hollering, they're having the good time. And that's exactly something that happens with Donald Trump at his rallies, right? He doesn't necessarily abandon a topic. He just goes off on these really long tangents. And I love the way that Andrew Schulz brings up, you know, when you can't bring it back, who are you? You're Biden. Donald Trump gets a kick out of that as well. I mean, this is basically what Kamala Harris is lacking, right? When she sits down with someone for an interview, whether it's friendly or not, are they really just having a good time, or are they just trying to pepper her with softball questions? But here, they are actually curious, right? They want to hear it from him in his own words. This is not like a gotcha interview. This is not necessarily a policy interview. This is them just talking because, hey, we find this guy interesting. We want to know what he's going to say. And by the way, the entire Flagrant crew is not exactly fans of Donald Trump, okay? But they're still going to have him on because he's a big figure. It's an election year. This is an important topic. And hey, why not let the man speak in his own words instead of being told by the mainstream media a bunch of lies about him, right?
But when COVID came, I made an unbelievable trade deal with China. They have to buy $50 billion of our product every year. It was nobody could believe I got that deal done. I don't even talk about it because of COVID. I don't even talk about it. That deal is unbelievable. And what's happened now, our farmers have been hit because Biden hasn't press them to honor the deal. You know, I used to, every day I'd get up, how much did China buy today? Sir, they bought, I'd call them up and say, you're behind. You have to buy 50 billion. Do you think Biden does that? Biden's sleeping. But over the last week, I have, what we talk about, funny or sad. I think it's more sad than funny.
Yeah.
He has one ability I don't have.
Yeah.
He sleeps. He can sleep. This guy goes on a beach and he lays down on one of those, 6 ounce. They weigh 6 ounces and you can't lift it. Yeah. They're meant. No, they're meant for children.
Yeah.
Young people and old people to lift.
Yeah.
They're aluminum, hollowed aluminum.
Yeah.
They weigh very little, and he can't lift. And somebody convinced him he looks good in a bathing suit. And when you're 82, typically bathing suits aren't going to make you look great. You're not going to be enhanced. Yeah. All right? It's just one of those things. I can't be sure about that, but typically you don't.
Depends what he's packing. He could.
I don't know what the hell he's packing, but I don't want to, and I don't want to know either. I don't know, but he has an ability to fall asleep while on camera. He can lie down on one of those things, and in minutes, he's stone cold out.
How does he do it?
And he's got cameras because he's the president, so they have cameras on him.
Yeah.
And then they show him sleeping on the beach.
Yeah.
I love the callback topic to Joe Biden on the beach, right? He spent basically a third of his entire time as president on vacation, most of it on the Delaware beaches, okay? And I love how they're saying, how does he sleep so much? Well, it's called dementia, the mental decline that Kamala Harris kept secret from the American public for years. We all saw it on camera, but the mainstream media, the talking heads, they're all saying, he's perfectly fine. He's just a little older, may have lost a step or two, but he's okay. And we're like, hey, look at that guy. He's fallen down. He's fallen asleep on the job. He's flubbing his words. He's slurring his words. This is awful. But everyone's like, he's fine. He's cogent. He's the best he's ever been. Trust me, he's laser focused on policy. He can handle this job. But Donald Trump just cuts through all of that stuff. He can't lift a chair, right? It weighs 6 ounces. He can't lift a chair. He looks awful on the beach. Who are his handlers, right? Get him back under control. But I love the way that Donald Trump is just cracking up Andrew Schulz over here, right? It's great to see. Like I said before, just a conversation, not necessarily about policy, just guys talking about things that are interesting. And this is the type of thing that is really going to probably get Donald Trump over the top, because I have a whole bunch of people who've never been introduced to the real Donald Trump. And the Flagrant crowd is probably got a large swath of that audience.
Okay, so you're going back into this place where, there was this assassination attempt. They hit you. Headshot. You survive.
Yeah. It was not a good feeling.
Yeah. Are you scared?
Better, by the way.
No, I'm not scared. I have an attitude. It's interesting. It's it is what it is. Does that make any sense to you guys? You do what you have to do. I felt it was important to go back. A lot of people, I guess, agreed with me because it was over 100. I think they said 108,000 people in the end. That's a lot of people.
Super Bowl.
And I had no guitar. If you have a guitar, it's easy. When you don't have a
I
guitar,
thought you said Qatar.
I have guitar. I do have that. They like me very much, but I don't have a guitar.
Yeah, you have the guitar. Yes.
So anyway, but that was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, I like it when somebody like Elon, who has a lot to lose, is willing to do what's right.
Yeah.
Some people know it's right to do, and I'm not just talking about endorsements and all, but they don't want to do things because they're.
They don't want it to cost them opportunities.
The word is
in the future.
they want to be politically correct, and actually they're doing a bad thing. I think for themselves and for a lot of people they may represent.
Okay, opening line when you walk out there.
Right.
I mean,
I was wondering what you were going to say, and as a comedian, you can seize the moment.
Yeah.
And
he was a hell of a comedian, by the way.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what the word is.
So I hear you go, I see the video and you go up there and you go, as I was saying.
Right.
Crowd goes fucking berserk or what?
They went, I would say, crazy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't
Biggest
sure.
pop you've experienced?
Yeah, I'll tell you how, you have this as a comedian or even not as a comedian, just when you make a speech or you make some very serious statement.
Yeah.
So we're at a very serious and somber thing
Event,
because we're celebrating a life that is no longer with us. And I wasn't sure whether or not that thing, I had it in my mind for a long time. Once I said I'm going back, which I wanted to go back immediately, I wanted to actually finish my speech, okay? When I got up, I said, let me finish my speech. but I'm surrounded by like 8 very large, strong men and a very wonderful woman. You saw that.
Yeah.
But I'm surrounded by guys. They said, "Sir, no way, go." And I have blood pouring down, but I really wanted to finish my speech. I said, I think I had like 50,000. I had a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I went down, it was sort of like embarrassed. I said, I went down in front of all these people. Yet that was my first thing. I don't want to be embarrassed.
You were embarrassed that you went down after being shot?
Well, you weren't exactly sure what the hell was happening at first, you know.
But also, you came back up with the fist raised. That's one of the hardest pictures.
But I was also,
Did you hear them say he's down, or were you just
so when I got hit, I assume that it's funny.
Is it?
When I was down there, it is sort of strange, I guess. Now it's.
Notice just how laid back and relaxed they all are. They're just asking him these personal questions about being shot in Pennsylvania. I mean, and Donald Trump's response, of course, as is mentioned there, comedic timing, perfect. He gets up on his return on stage and he starts with, as I was saying. I mean, a truly tremendous thing. So he's just charming the pants off these guys. And of course, they're not sycophants. They're just enjoying the conversation, enjoying being with him in the moment. And that, of course, is what makes Donald Trump different from Kamala Harris. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.